Can somebody tell me why I constantly get locked up ever since I've known Vertin? First locked up in a suitcase, then a foundation cell, now this! Oh, what else could it be if Vertin weren't the jinx? Lads! I know what's going on! You got the wrong person! She is the most irrational number here! I'm knocked. What does it say here? Freedom will be granted once the proof is completed. That's to say, I have to prove myself not an irrational number to get out of here. Which is exactly what I've been trying to do, isn't it? Rat. Ugh!
Captain, maybe you're in the wrong direction. This apple presumes that the followers on this island have a close connection with Pythagoreanism.
Pythagoras? That ancient Greek mathematician? The guy who said something about the opposite side of a right triangle? Isn't he the guy who lives in sometime BC?
Maths is only a part of the Pythagoreans' achievement, but from a more universal perspective, they are a mysterious group of scholars. Believing things are made up of numbers venerating integer numbers, abstaining from beans, and the religious collective lifestyle. These are all pointing to Pythagoreanism. The earliest Pythagorean school perished because of the discovery of irrational numbers, which explains their odium of it. At that time, a deviant student named Hippasus discovered root 2, and the theories based on the ratio of integers they hold dear were upended. Hippasus himself was drowned in the sea. This apple assumes they see the integers as the standard of virtue, and people can increase the number they rank through study and self-improvement. Besides, they are convinced that a numerical code is hidden in everything and everyone. Whoever can solve the code can obtain the truth of the world.
All right, now I know what's going on. This pirate has had enough of this moral standard, which is obviously prudish, backward, and lacks humanitarian spirit. I'm going to tackle the root cause of this misfortune. I'm breaking out!
Why am I not surprised? The captain quickly gives the sufficient and prerequisite condition to prove herself an irrational number. This apple may be able to offer some help.
What's happening? An earthquake?
All Abraxases are flying in the same direction. Is this their habit, or...
Ah! The roof is about to collapse! So far, this place has made the London Juvenile Detention Centre a heaven on earth. Oh, is there a piece of paper? Did one of the Abraxases drop this? Strange. The unsolvable puzzle. Is this a math problem? Naught 0.4, 0.7, 1, 1.6, 2.8, 5.2, 10 and 19.6. 8 numbers in total are listed in this order.
There are 8 symbols below, respectively representing the Sun, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn and Uranus. Maybe it is a hint that we should fill the symbols in the blank box after the numbers. That sign says to complete the proof. Does it mean to solve this puzzle?
Ha! How unsolvable can it be? Clearly, each of these 8 numbers should represent one planet. We can easily find the missing planet by trying them one by one. And our Mr. Apple here is the king of the Times crossword. Yes?
I think there is a difference between this and a crossword. In this Apple's humble opinion, the ratio of certain numbers should match this number sequence, such as the radius, volume, or rotation period.
Wouldn't the sun be absurdly large if these numbers stand for their sizes? Hey! The underground critters are back. Go away! Don't touch my note. It's not your food.
It's an honor to meet you. I can hear it.
It's newly made this year.
Tu peux la jeter maintenant.
Prepare to be
La
drowned.
charme d'opère.
Enjoy! Ouch! There they are.
That's the
Another
direction.
jar?
Ice flood.
Got you.
Prepare to be drowned. The flood clash. That's the direction.
Worry not. The direction of fate is decided. Rivers are the scars of the earth. Puść le naufragé течет вместе с водой.
К вашим услугам.
It's
Just
newly
right.
made this year.
Ice flood.
Winterstürme wischen den Wundermond.
What's wrong?
Howlhund.
Stop it.
What a
And
tragedy.
it's newly made this year.
Ti soffoca il sangue. Ti soffoca il sangue.
Got you. It's newly
That's the
made this
direction.
year. I'll fill the cup for you. Ah! There they are.
Ice flood. К вашим
I can hear
услугам.
it.
That's the direction. The turbulence arrives.
Mon officier n'est pas
Prepare
un
to be drowned.
capitaine.
The flood. К вашим
Another
услугам.
jar?
Worry not. The direction of fate is decided. Look, an earth-suspended river.
You don't want to miss it.
What a
That's the
tragedy.
It's newly
direction.
made this year.
Ti soffoca il sangue. Ti soffoca il sangue. Rivers are the scars of the earth.
Let's get it over quick. What is wrong? I remember it's called lending a hand.
Hold on, please, Captain. Seems like the critters are trying to tell us something. They are pointing at the sign of the sun.
Is that so? Even the critters on this island know math. The sun. What if the sun is just here to serve as a reference point? I read an IAU's report in the Times 2 years ago. You know, the International Astronomical Union. Earth's average distance to the Sun is approximately 93 million miles. As for Mercury, the average distance is 36 million, and Venus 67 billion miles. Let's say if we take the distance between Earth and the Sun as one astronomical unit, then the distance between the Sun and Mercury would be approximately 0.4 units, and Venus 0.7 units. There you go. These numbers are the ratio of their average distance to the Sun to the Earth-Sun distance.
The average distance from Mars to the Sun is about 142 million miles, Jupiter about 484 million miles, Saturn 886 million miles, and Uranus 1.786 billion miles. By rough calculation, and if we round the results to one decimal place, Mars would be 1.6 unit, Jupiter 5.2 unit, Saturn 10 unit, and Uranus 19.6 unit. That's weird. All these numbers one can hardly remember have become so clear in my mind.
But if these numbers stand for the ratio of distance, what's the planet for 2.8? There's no planet between Mars and Jupiter.
If the Sun is the reference, we will have one planet missing here. Is it really a puzzle unsolvable?
Aha! Nothing is unsolvable. You are looking at the solution. There must be one planet out there, unknown to us as of yet, located between Mars and Jupiter. What now? What is this? A celestial body, which I have never seen before.
Captain, this apple has an impression on this. There is indeed a star between Mars and Jupiter. It is called the Ceres, discovered by Piazzi Giuseppe, an Italian priest in 1801.
Ceres? Did we just validate its existence? Is the universe truly arranged according to this sequence? Could this be the ultimate key of everything?
Regulus! Regulus! What are you doing? Got food poisoning after accidentally eating one of those critters?
Odd. My head hurts. What was that?
I'll make it short. Stanetta is in detention. They're planning to sentence her to death by giving her the poisoned wine.
They what?
As you can see, this school on the island lives in a box made by the truth. Even if they have a donut in their hands when they are hungry, they still see a topological space. Like the cute ring attached to an initiation toy. It's not food anyways. But if you give them a puzzle, they will enjoy it like the best Kaiserschmarrn. Oh, my apologies. I was not talking about the one you are holding. No. With all due respect, that thing in your hand is pretty old. The mold on it seems to come from the 18th century, judging from the smell. I'm sure you know it will make you sick if eaten. But we have to admit, it is not just ordinary mold. It reminds us of the story in which, once, a merchant's son looked up at the night sky and found the answer to the stars for us. The young man firmly believed that the movement of the stars and the sun follows certain laws, just like how the delicate gears in a watch work together. And his point was even proven correct by Zeus's grandfather. When another gentleman observed the sky through the reflecting telescope he took great pains to make, a celestial body was exactly there. What was it called? 19.6. The 8th number in the sequence, the 7th planet in the solar system, and the legendary god of the sky. If the world was not created by God, are there any theories we can use to explain such a beautiful law? Yes, the one that says it never actually exists. Anyone can see the breach in this number sequence. That is the planet, which is supposed to be the 5th number in the sequence. I mean, how come we have never seen it before, if it does exist? Either God is wrong, or we've been blind all this time. What do you think? Yes, such a planet definitely exists, and as expected, it was discovered in the end. Yes, that's the Ceres. It only took that great mathematician an hour to find its orbit through calculation. Oh, what great astronomy! What great mathematics! What great creation! It was a beautiful dream, but it was still ended, eventually, by another discovery. The 8th planet. Not the Ceres, nor the Uranus. but a new planet. People found it through more precise astronomical data and calculation, proving that the number sequence found by the merchant's son was only a myth. Now we are clear of what we've been talking about. It's an unsolvable puzzle. It makes no sense from the very beginning. We found the Ceres because it happened to be there. It is real, and no one can deny its existence. In other words, we can perfectly prove the rationality of mathematics because we invented it. It's been a good dream, I suppose. Now, imagine that you are walking alone in the darkest valley ever, trying to drag your fragile body upward as much as possible before it is worn out. Hoarse cries squeeze their way out of your mouth to ask for a response from the gods. Suddenly, an afflatus dawns on you. The next moment, a miracle happens. You are already at the top of the mountain, witnessing the rise of a huge celestial body from the skyline. Even if it's only in your imagination, you have just witnessed the dawn of the creation, and the shock is real.
An old admonition is engraved here. Let no one ignorant of geometry or the irrational numbers enter. 37 told me you are the integers. She's the genius kissed by the god of truth. She can see our numbers and has never made a mistake. But I don't understand. Why would you break the silence at the meeting?
I apologize, Miss Sophia. I won't defend our behavior.
You may save that apology for later. If you can persuade more than half of the people to vote for your friend's commutation, perhaps she won't be sentenced to death. I have gathered some case files from the past. I hope it will be of some help.
files are. But won't you be in trouble for helping us?
I have my own reasons. Integers are the living example of virtues, the standard of purification. It represents a soul existing in the world of forms, a true being. It is the floating points behind the decimal which dent the process of our overall purification. The evil. The ones who violate rules knowingly. The ones who turn a positive number into negatives. And a civil person, a criminal. If integers like you would lose your life over some unintentional mistakes, wouldn't it be a great shame? Besides, I can't stand the idea of you being killed in front of me.
Not rigorous. For one thing, we still don't know Vertin's and Netto's numbers. For another, the fact that every crow we've seen is black doesn't necessarily entail that the next crow will also be black. Even if every virtuous person we met has been an integer, we can't be certain that the next one will still be an integer. Same case for irrational numbers.
You're right, 37. But people always tend to believe that virtuous people are integers. That is what we call belief.
Correct, but not entirely correct. Everyone can make mistakes. Numbers are just numbers. They are not associated with virtues.
Unlike me, you're always right, 37.
I don't know what differs us.
Will you be at the assembly?
Yes.
Then I will leave them with you. I'm not qualified to set foot in the Hall of Truth. I have done poorly in receiving the guests. I will ask 6 for my punishment after the assembly.
Huh? So you are not coming back to my laboratory? Neither will you help me review the calculation results or sort out the books?
The scripture shall not be challenged. What's more, any students here can help you in the laboratory. It doesn't have to be me.
Had I known, I would have let someone else welcome Vertin and her friends. Like 210. He loves to brag to young ladies so much that he would take the punishment willingly, right?
You were that someone else who was assigned to receive them in the first place. If I hadn't stopped you in time, how much longer would Regulus's head have stayed in your mouth? Not to mention what happened last time, and the time before that.
But the fact that I have messed up all the receptions before doesn't mean I may excel in the next one. The chances of messing up the first reception and the 100th reception are the same.
Whatever you say, you little sophist.
Everyone says so. But compliments won't help her find her number. So, Vertin, are you ready for the debate?
Does that mean you will help us?
Of course. I don't want to miss the chance.
What chance?
The chance to see your numbers. There's no greater knowledge than the knowledge of oneself. And there's no more exciting truth than the truth of oneself. I can quickly tell which types of numbers you are, but it requires proof to know the exact number of your soul. I want to know the answer before you see your own numbers. So it's 37 who proves it, not Vertin.
I'd be glad to give this chance to you.
That's boring. Let's go, Vertin. The assembly's about to start.
Don't worry, Timekeeper. I'll defend myself. Back in the Foundation, I once won a public debate of a similar nature. This is my duty. I won't let it get in the way of the team's investigation.
Sonetto.
By our tradition, Miss Sonetto will be given the poisoned wine, so she will be muted and stay that way forever. However, Sophia raised her objection against the decision. After giving the matter some discreet thought, I have decided it is necessary to hold an assembly and take care of it democratically. Those of you who agree to the death sentence may remain seated. Those of you who wish to commute Miss Sonetto's punishment, please put your pebble into the pot in the middle of the hall. Now, Miss Sonetto, Miss Vertin, you may defend yourselves. Until the sand in this hourglass falls to the bottom.
I am Sonetto from St. Pavla Foundation. I wish all the honorable audiences here would lend me their ears to hear my defense as a humanitarian gesture.
What number are you? Defendant, the court requires an answer. What is your number?
What? Me? No, I don't have a number.
Don't waste our time. People without a number cannot stand in the Hall of Truth. All her words are void. Sentence her to death now!
'42's argument is valid. Defenders, what do you wish to contend?
What? It's valid?
Objection! According to the record, the last time we inflicted severe punishment was in 1980 to a visitor who ate beans. He ate a carbuncle that feeds on beans. Then he was sentenced to death according to the said theory. In our scripture, eating beans is the most evil sin, which undoubtedly fits the most severe punishment. But if we are now executing people for breaking the silence at the assembly, how would it reflect our attitude towards the consumption of beans? Has the latter become less sinful? I suggest Neto's punishment to be commuted.
A good argument.
37's argument is deemed valid. The debate will continue.
Objection. The punishment for eating beans is to throw the offenders into the Gorgon current, while the punishment for the silence breaker is to drink poisoned wine. Among all the punishments we have, there's no other punishment more dreadful than being thrown into the Gorgon current. Because eternity and infinity are the two things we have the least knowledge of, which makes them the most ghastly punishments among all. Giving her the poisoned wine doesn't make the consumption of beans less sinful. Her argument is invalid.
Objection! Both of the crimes would fall into the same category if we are taking the punishment as a frame of reference, which is death.
Objection. The two crimes in question are not commensurable, which makes your comparison invalid.
What's this? I'm completely lost in this irrational debate.
I see. So that's how it works.
Timekeeper?
Relax. I will help you. I object.
It's an honor to meet you.
I'd like to start by quoting 42's first argument. People without a number cannot stand in the Hall of Truth. case, it's not possible for Sonetto to commit a crime in the Hall of Truth. Because she can't even be in the hall.
What?
Good point, Vertin. This is our chance to out-argue them.
It is. I can hear it. Mon officier n'est pas un capitaine. It is. I can hear it. Winterstürme wichen den Boden. Tu peux la jeter maintenant. La charme d'opère. What a tragedy. Just right. Soffoca il sangue! Ti soffoca il sangue! I can hear it is here.
No, it's too far-fetched. Relax, Vertin. You know what to do.
Did I start running? And it's newly made this year. Got you. Let's get it over quick.
These are merely clumsy sophisms.
There
We've
they
all
are.
seen her break the maxim.
Objection! What you see cannot be submitted to the court as a transcendental fact. It's nothing but the fragments of the phenomenal world which can't be used in your argument.
Objection sustained. Please, ladies and gentlemen, keep the debate logically consistent.
Since Sonetto has no number, and a person without a number does not exist before the truth, Sonetto thus didn't offend your truth. She didn't break any rules.
It's newly made this year. I'll fill the cup for you. Ah! Enjoy! It's wrong.
Objection! The rule breaker has a number. We can all tell that she is very likely an integer. Therefore, she should be identified as an unknown number, not void. Your sophism has failed.
42's argument is held valid. Is there anything else you'd like to add, defendant?
Tell you a secret, 13? We would call criminals negative numbers.
I got it!
Another jar? It's newly made this year. There they are. Let's get it over quick. Got you. It's newly made this year. I'll fill the cup for you. Ah!
It is easy to prove Sonetto's innocence. According to the law of the excluded middle, Sonetto either committed a sin or committed no sin. The two statements cannot be both false at the same time. Since we consider a criminal as a negative number, and a non-criminal as a positive number, Sonetto at present is considered an unknown number. That means she doesn't belong to the criminal set, or the non-criminal set. She did not commit a sin, and did not commit no sin. It's a paradox. I hereby demand to modify the criminal sentence that has been given to Sonetto.
The curtain has fallen.
The law of excluded middle. A good sophism. Good for you to create a paradox from one sentence of my argument. But pitifully, you've made a fatal mistake. You've taken my argument as the basis of your defense. I said people without a number should be expelled from the Hall of Truth. You don't have a number either, Miss Outsider. Based on my argument, which has also been approved by you, I argue that all your arguments are invalid.
There's no time left.
13 has a number. I saw it.
What? 37, do you know what you're saying?
Yeah. I read her number. Just now. 13's number is 0.
Come closer. That's right. Take a few more steps and immerse yourself in the shadow, including that hat. You don't want those good ears to hear this private conversation. That pad of paper from the miss? Yes, the one wielding the ruler, is quite valuable. I can tell it is of a certain age, and records quite a lot of anecdotes. One visitor to the island took out a baguette from his luggage. To share it with others, he made an attempt to parcel it off. Another visitor fell to the ground and happened to sit on a quart measure and break it. You can learn the punishments for them from the paper. The former was thrown into the sea, while the latter into the further sea. Only God knows how this wine-dark sea holds so many visitors. Oh, the debate! That's really a pain in the neck for that logical, pragmatic assistant of yours, isn't it? People always tend to mark what they can't figure out as arcanists' doings, as if things would make sense once they do so. But it won't change the fact that the debate is only a game involving sophistry, improvisation, and straw man fallacy. So what makes it superior to beans, if the form is what they are really after? Anyways, whoever fools the others first will win the game. No arcanum at all. And that argument of hers is the best attraction for the audience. A special number. A 0. That's ambitious, darling, and I love it. But you need to know that infinity is the most unfamiliar thing for the people, and that's why it triggers the most curiosity. Whoever tries to eat up this elephant with one bite will get all bloated and pinned by their own weight, waiting to die like a turtle upside down. By then, I guess you would be eager to throw up the elephant and turn back into the adorable, easygoing 0 we all like. See, just like you, people are always on the way to finding something that can satisfy them undoubtedly. As if what they already have was disappointing. They stare at the flame of the matches, read the tea leaves in the cup, and bustle around the instruments with star patterns. Now, back to the number we just talked about. Oh my! It's the prediction of your whole life! Can you believe that? You owe that spirited little genius a thank you. By the way, what do you see in her number? Ah, yes, of course. 37 is larger than 0. But it's not so stable as 0. These prime numbers, they are just hard to divide, because they have very few things in common with others. That's why she's always so energetic, highly and solely focused on what she takes an interest in. She has nothing like the characteristics of the ones you know in the Gray and White House. Those people are proud of themselves for having kind-hearted factors around them. As their teaching goes, it's always dangerous to be unique. But some look up at her again and again, exactly because they can sense the danger in her. You are also a good example. You've been looking up, haven't you?
Who ate beans? Given that, intersect and divide. Huh? It could be found. Given that, time to check my calculation. Form is above all. The final demonstration. Given that, welcome to the world of numbers. Huh. Huh. It could be found. A perfect argument. Form is above all. Uh-huh.
37. You just said Vertin's number is 0. Do you know what it means?
Very clearly.
Would you be able to submit proof to Apeiron?
No problem.
Half of you in this hall have put in the pebbles. If 37's argument is found to be true, every argument Vertin has spoken in Sonetto's defense will be deemed valid. Sonetto will be exempt from the punishment. I will announce the result once 37's proof has been validated by Apeiron. Thank you for your time.
Sonetto!
Timekeeper, I'm so sorry. I tried my best, but still I couldn't understand the debate. I failed again.
What happened to her? Come here, little girl. We need to move her outside. Lie her down on the ground and wipe her palm and feet with dew and peppermint oil. that would be okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome, the distinguished number 0. I'm kidding. I'm 210. Well, instead of the number, I prefer people call me the rhetorician.
I've heard your preachment. Pretty demagogic.
That's how logic works. With logic, I can prove that you'd cease to exist in the next moment, or that there are no other people in this world except me. Achilles can never outrun a tortoise, and a flying arrow is forever motionless. This debate is nothing but meaningless wordplay. That pacifist let you off this time. 6. A perfect number indeed. For he knows the benefit of reconciliation. Who wants to have blood on their hands and be devoured by the cycle of hatred? Yet it's a torture for any intelligent mind to hear such an immature debate. Can you feel the suffering of our leader now?
I'm sorry.
No apology needed, Miss Outsider. I also feel sorry for your pain. Given that 37 has revealed your number.
What do you mean?
37. Our evil little genius. The most cunning star of Hermes. She's been having fun revealing others' numbers for a long time. Our numbers are our essence. And it's also the most important proof we get once in our lifetime. But she enjoys taking that opportunity away from you. Just because her talent allows her to do so. She did that to her friend, too. She found out Sophia's number. But without casting an eye on that paper with her number on it, Sophia threw it into the sea. Sophia is Sophos. But you, I pity you.
It doesn't seem like trouble to me.
Alas, poor little Vertin. You still don't understand. The number of our souls suggests our fate. It might be changed through algorithms temporarily, swirling, shifting, or transforming alongside other changes occurring on the coordinate axis. But in the end, we can only be ourselves. 1 is thought. 2 is opinion. 3 is wisdom. 4 is strength. 5, enthusiasm. 6, harmony. 7, order. 8, philanthropy. 9 is restraint, while 10 is completion. 0, however, is in the middle of the axis, the origin of the frame of reference. It's neither positive nor negative, neither prime nor composite. Things are ever changing, but you stay the same. Your loneliness also lasts forever. This is your fate. Being exposed in full view of the crowd, yet you know nothing about it. 37 was acting on impulse, yet she opened Pandora's box. She leisurely reveals your fate. That carefree behavior makes no difference to picking up a shell on a beach. How could I not pity you?
Miss Verton. "37's proof has passed the review. Your friend will now be exempt from the punishment for violating the rules. However, she has to take some catch-up lessons on the scripture. Please, meet me at the hall tomorrow at noon. I would have words with you." Before this negotiation begins, I wish to tell an allegory to the two of you. A group of people were imprisoned in a cave. Behind them, there was a fire. Before them was a tall, solid wall. Their legs and necks were chained and fixed, so they were constrained to look nowhere but to gaze at the wall in front of them. When they dropped their eyes, they saw their own body. When they looked up, the flickering light of the fire fell over them, and they only saw the shadows of what was passing behind them. No one had lived one day outside the cave. The shadows cast on the wall all there was to be perceived as reality. They had no knowledge of the real world. One day, one of them escaped from the cave, walked into the light, and saw the true world with his own eyes for the first time. Everything he saw or felt in the cave was nothing more than a mere shadow of the object's true form. Our world is a poor one, Miss Verton. The phenomenal world is the cave in this allegory, where we are surrounded by shadows or some humble fractions of the truth. It is ugly, frivolous, filthy, perishable, subject to decay, and filled with hollow desires and meaningless struggles. Only the wise can walk out of that cave and see the world as it truly is. In that eternal, transcendent world, everything is in its most perfect form. I pray that you, Miss Verton, the representative of St. Pavlov Foundation, and you, Miss Arcana, her counterpart of Manus Vindicte, would pay heed to my words. Everything you've been fighting each other for means no more than some fragments of phenomena to us. There's only one thing worth doing. That is, to seek higher wisdom, develop one's virtue, and achieve greatness in life. We have never set foot on the soil dampened by the storm, nor have we ever been involved in the disputes brought by the torrents of time. I beg you, do not take your conflict in the phenomenal world into the realm of truth.
For certain. It was never my intention to sully the sanctuary of truth.
Then, to prevent a situation like this from happening again, I would like to ask you two to carve your names on these 2 stone bangles and drip a drop of your blood on each of them. Once the bracelet is put on, no one will be able to remove it. From now on, as long as you're on this island, none of your people will draw blood from one another, or the bangle shall draw all the blood from you. The peace agreement is so decided.
I appreciate that. I'll sign it. The peace agreement.
Lady Verton, we meet again. I wish the best to thy friend.
She's doing well, thanks to you.
You're most welcome. Thou shalt quench, for times hath changed. I would not wish to shed even a drop of Arcanist's blood in vain.
But Schneider should be the victim of a merciless bullet?
Pardon, my pitiful child. Did you forget? That merciless bullet cameth from a gun never belonging to me.
What's Manus Vindicte's purpose to be here?
Hearken the archaic wisdom. Just as thou doest. I am not surprised. I adore thy visage, Lady Verton, emotionless in the storm. Alas, no man shall bravest the storm and live, including thee.
A wooden box in the Elitiao's base has my name on it. Was that your doing?
Sadly, it wasn't. I hope thee findeth the answer satisfactory.
It's burning.
Is that Miss Arcana? Miss Arcana, please, don't go! Save us!
And save Aunt!
No! Come back! Come back! You ignorant foreigners! I just started introducing vectors and matrices, and that's the most interesting part! Verton! Great! You always show up at the right time and right place! Stop the masked people! Whatever it takes!
One, two, three, four,
Please, have a seat. You'll always feel at ease in my home.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The number of papers more than 9. Is this what the girl with the flower needs?
Well...
Did I start running?
I can hear it.
And it's newly made this year.
Tu peux la jeter maintenant.
There they are.
La charme d'opère.
Let's get it over quick. It's wrong. Got you. Another jar?
I can hear it.
There they are.
Winterstürme, wo bist der Lenz?
It's newly made this. Another jar? Got you. Enjoy!
Mon officier n'est pas un capitaine.
There they are.
What a tragedy.
Coming! Another jar?
Soffoca il sangue. Ti soffoca il sangue.
I'll fill the cup for you. Ah! Let's get it over quick. Coming!
What a tragedy. It is here. What a tragedy. It is here. What a tragedy.
Coming!
Winterstürme wischen den Boden. Ti soffoca il sangue. Ti soffoca il sangue.
I'll fill the cup for you. Ah! It's newly made this year. Another jar?
can hear it.
It's newly made. Another jar?
Du bist der Lenz.
Enjoy! Got you! It's newly made this year.
It is here. I can hear it.
There they are.
Tu peux la jeter maintenant. La scharfe Winterstürme wischen den Wonnemond.
Howlhund. It is here. I can hear it.
Another jar?
Du bist der Lenz.
It's wrong!
May the flow take their souls to the sea in the north.
I remember it's called... One, two, three...
It's an honor to meet you. I can hear it.
And it's newly made this year.
Tu peux la jeter maintenant.
Got you.
La charme d'opère.
You don't want to miss it. Another
That's the
chapter
direction.
newly made this year. There they are.
Ice flood.
Let's get it over quick. Got you. Coming. Another jar? I'll fill the cup for you. Ah!
The turbulence arrives.
You don't want to miss it.
It is here.
Another jar?
Mon officier n'est pas un capitaine.
Enjoy!
How
Ouch!
That's the direction. К вашим услугам.
It's newly made this year.
Rivers are the scars of the earth. Пусть le naufragé течет вместе с водой.
There they are.
That's the direction.
I can hear it. Another jar?
The turbulence arrives. К вашим услугам.
It's newly made this year.
That's the direction.
Coming! You don't want to miss it.
Rivers are the scars of the earth.
Ouch! Ouch! Got you.
It is here. What a tragedy. It is here.
К вашим услугам.
What a tragedy. Winterstürme wischen den Boden.
Prepare to be drowned.
Soffoca il sangue. Ti soffoca il sangue.
The flood is coming. That's the direction.
I'll fill the cup for you. Ah!
We've done a good job. Now, may I have a hand towel?
Please, have a seat. You'll always feel at ease in my room, no matter the time.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Please, have a seat. You'll always feel at ease in my room.